In this example, we are given a tax calculator program pre-coded for us um, with a specific task to solve. In this case, we are trying to round the results for income tax to at most 2 digits of precision in the output number. So, in other words, we want to use the round function and be able to use up to 2 digits, which will be one of the arguments in the round function. And I'll make sure to detail that later in the video, as the result of the income tax. So let's see what's what the problem is, just to kind of understand what's going on. So if I run the program, I'm given the first input, which would be the gross income function here. And so I will go ahead and just type a random number followed by a couple decimals at the end. So we're doing $49,789.49 as my gross income. I'll go ahead and enter that. And kind of to keep it simple, the number of dependents that I will be picking will be just one. So as you can see here at the first group of constants, you'll see that the standard deduction for dependent, the deduction for a dependent is 3,000. So whenever I enter the number of dependents, I will go ahead and take that input and times it by 3,000. And that's actually shown here in here at the compute the income tax section, where you can see that we have a static constant of dependent deduction times the number of dependents, which is the number of dependents I've entered here as my input. And then what the program does is multiply the result. And once they have a result, they'll then go ahead and take the gross income, and then they will subtract it to whatever result I get from here. So basically what's going on is I will take this gross income and then I will subtract it by 1 times 3,000, which is just 3,000. So, and that should give me 4,600, or I'm sorry, $46,789 with 49 cents. So I go ahead and enter that, and then it'll take my $46,789.49 and times that by the tax rate of 0.2%. So the problem is that whenever you output the income tax, you see that there's actually 3 digits after the decimal point, which I don't really want because we don't deal with dollar figures that way. So what I need to do, and what the problem is asking me to do, is to use the round function to modify the program to display at most 2 digits of precision in the output number. So it's very simple. I'm going to actually run the round function before I do anything else here. So, but I want to show you what this argument is going to look like. Essentially, I am going to take the results of that output of income tax, and I'm going to use that as the number I'm going to round for. I'm going to use a second argument here to determine how many digits of precision I'm going to use for this output. So it's going to be 2, and the round function will then be initialized by one that I just make up on my own. So in this case, I'll just make it to round income tax, initialize that, and then I'm gonna actually take this round income tax and I'm gonna go ahead and replace it here, and this should do the trick. So as always, I want to make sure that I include exactly what I'm doing in my code. So here I am rounding income tax to 2 digits of precision. And once I actually print this out, so if I run the program again, I'll go ahead and use the same random number. I'm going to enter the number of dependents. And here you can see that the income tax is $7,335.09. The problem doesn't specifically tell you to do exactly 2 digits of precision. You'll learn that later in the course, but essentially the idea is that if I output an amount that will give me more than 2 digits of precision, say like this one, let's try the number of dependents, then this will give me $7,359.77. Again, at most 2 digits of precision. So what happens if I were again to remove the round function and go back to my original code where I had income tax as my string? What then would happen if I were to run the code and actually see how many decimal points occur? So let's try that out. So again, my number is going to be 479,798.83. Again, we're going to go with one dependent. And now you can see that the amount is different. The amount is actually going to be, it's going to have 3 decimal points, and that's not what we want. So we'll go ahead and rerun this round income tax again. We're going to add it here back to our string. Oops. And then we're going to go ahead and run it one more time. So $479,798.83 with one dependent, and you see that we actually get the 2 digits at the end. So that's how you use a round function. The round function is really useful as obviously for rounding, but also as a tool for formatting any outputs that you get. So it looks nice and neat. The output doesn't look confusing. You know exactly what you're dealing with. And yeah, so that's it for this problem. Obviously, if you have any questions, you're always welcome to comment down below. Otherwise, I hope you found this helpful.